This program is paid for by Weeby Marketing.
Hey, so
Lawson sends it out to left center field. This ball's hit pretty well. It's traveling, and it's going to get out of here.
Swinging a fly ball, right field. Guess what? It is a grand salami.
And that is launched. And it's gone past the video board.
It's time for On Deck.
The Gators have their biggest inning in over a decade.
So here comes the payoff pitch from Barberi. And did he go? Yes, he did. Strikeout number 16 for the Gators. And Florida does, in fact, get the shutout.
On Deck is shining because of our title sponsor, International Diamond Center, the official jeweler of Florida Gators baseball.
Jocelyn Erickson, welcome to the 200 Club.
And brought to you in part by Titan MRI and Imaging, Meldon Law, Silverback Concrete, Campus USA Credit Union, B&D Electric, Quality Plumbing, Atlantic Roofing, Castaway Hot Sauce, Coke Zero, Holiday Inn University Center, International Gold and Watch Exchange, Miapa Latin Cafe, Ruse Ogra State Farm, and by Spurrier's Gridiron Grill.
Alongside Jeff Cardozo, here's Steve Russell.
Welcome to this edition of the On Deck Show alongside our broadcast partner, Jeff Cardozo. We broadcast from the International Diamond Center studios. International Diamond Center, the official jeweler of the Florida Gators. We'll talk about all things Gator baseball, softball, the SEC, now regionals, all of that. Our phone and text line questions brought to you by Titan MRI and Imaging. 3 locations to scan you better. Our Facebook Live questions brought to you by Meldon Law, the only official injury and accident law firm partner of the Florida Gators. Our YouTube questions brought to you by Silverback Concrete. You stand on it, we stand by it, and Luis is going to produce the On Deck Show today. Long trip, Jeff, but worth it because the Gators get a top 8.
Yeah, always worth it. And I think the hope was because they went as far as they did, it would pay off. And that's exactly what you got. You wonder if, I don't even think it would have changed going all the way and winning it all. You probably slotted right in that spot as, they put Alabama ahead of Florida anyway. And I just don't know if winning the league would have done it. But I think you're in a fine situation because you'd rather, at least in my opinion, be paired up with Southern Miss as opposed to Florida State, who's then paired up with Alabama. So I like the draw. I hate stupid Miami again because you wish the
I thought of you.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I thought, oh, boy.
Yeah. You just wish the NCAA would be a little more creative. But, again, you can't send Miami to Florida State. You could have sent them to Athens, though.
Could have.
And then, maybe take the 2 seed from there and change that up a little bit more if you're still trying to keep it somewhat regionalized. But at least they didn't give you 2 other Florida teams as well. So I think you like it from that standpoint. And, now the question is what's Sully going to do for that opening game? I think that's always the dilemma, whether or not I wouldn't say throw off, but, to me, Sandifer's good enough to beat Ryder. So throw him, and then you've got King and Peterson for Miami, and then whoever you'd have to, face in the next one. So we'll see how it all plays out. But, yeah, at least – you have the opportunity to be at home now the whole way through and try to make it back to Omaha.
All right. Remember, our phone and text line at Titan MRI and Imaging. No insurance is no problem. Titan MRI has same-day scheduling available. Call them up. Start feeling better today. TitanMRI.com. So, again, that's our phone and text comments. If you have any, Luis will get them to us. Now, let's start with our Team of the Week, brought to you by B&D Electric. Your home's electrical system is always game day ready. From repairs and lighting to panel upgrades and troubleshooting, they deliver every time. Don't strike out. Schedule today at bdelectric.com. Team of the Week.
Yeah, you got to give it to Georgia for them coming back and winning the title and obviously the regular season as well, and just destroying Arkansas in the championship game. I think it does show you, though, if Florida would have been able to hold on to that lead, the 6-0 lead that they had, then Florida's probably the SEC champs because Arkansas had kind of run out of pitching and everything else. And, even when you look at Arkansas, though, I think a lot of people feel that they were the one team that got screwed in this entire process. And compare their resume to Mississippi State, it's probably a little bit better, but they end up choosing Mississippi State. You wonder if now, because of the atmosphere that can be created in Mississippi State, is that why the NCAA chose them? I don't know. There's a lot of different things going on, but Georgia's obviously a really good team, and when they can get their pitching right and do the things that they need to do, they're tough to navigate through that lineup 3 or 4 times is really tough to do.
Art email here. I think Kevin O'Sullivan and the baseball team were thrown a huge bone, giving him a top 8 seed. Blowing a 6-0 lead is unacceptable. It's time to win, Sully.
I mean, they definitely weren't thrown a huge bone. Look at the metrics and everything that goes with it as far as the quad 1 wins against top 25.
Schedule.
Yeah, it's all easily top 8 in the country. And there's some stuff that we can talk about through the entire process here of, looking at other teams' RPIs and other regionals' RPIs, and is it fair for everybody? But, I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that when you look at it, Florida deserved to be in that spot. And, yeah, it's just so definitely not throwing a bone.
No. Daryl, I know kids are supposed to have fun on the diamond, but you and I share the same pet peeve. Kids don't need to act like clowns, act like you've been there before. The Georgia player acting like a bird after stealing a base.
Yeah, that was stupid, and I even made a comment on the air about it. That's the type of player he is, and he's not going to change. So I guess you give him credit for that. But I think there's also some of the things that you need to do as a coach to maybe slow that down a little bit. Now, you don't want to mess up a guy's personality so much that he's not effective on the field, and he's a first-team all-SEC type player, and I think going to be really, really good at the next level, but he won't get to act like that at the next level, so maybe just do it now while you can. But it's just, you do what the coach allows you to do. And remember, we saw the Gators go through a span of about a week where they were clapping in the dugout to Curlin's song and doing some other things, and Sully put the kibosh on it, and they became a better team after that.
I think I just read Daryl's email. I think it's going to be Daryl. Daryl, hello.
Oh, no, that wasn't
me.
Oh,
sorry, Daryl. Another Daryl. Okay.
Other brother Daryl.
There you go.
But let's just strip away. I mean, the softball, it kind of bothered me what I saw out there. I know we a lot of us look at things through Gator eyes, Gator vision. With hitting Mia Williams 5 times, she's only been hit 4 times all year. Those things kind of, I'm not saying it was Bush League, but to me it's suspect. Let's call it there. I would stay there with it, suspect. And then with the sportsmanship, what I saw from my team, University of Florida, not going out. We have coaches, Francesca Nea. There's assistant coaches, players that are suited assistants that played last year. Could have walked those girls out there and show some sportsmanship. That's the part that really bothered me more than anything. To me, that was, I don't want to use the word, but I'm going to use the word classless, because shake hands. I don't think anything would have broke out. They're grown-ups, mature women. Yeah, there was a lot of heat going on, but at the end of the day, if this had been Texas Tech and reversing it, what would Gator fans be saying today? It was Bush League.
Your thoughts on this, Jeff?
If we keep it honest.
Yeah, no, I think Gator fans would obviously be calling up and saying the same about Texas Tech. I just, Daryl, I wasn't there, of course, but seeing all the stuff and listening to the people, I'm not huge on the sportsmanship side of it now because of how out of control it's gotten, not only in this situation, but just around the country. I think for me, I would just eliminate it altogether because, Daryl, I think even me thinking about my playing days, and we lost in a regional to go to the World Series back then, and I had thrown 2 games before that and threw a complete game, and it was great, and we're moving on and all this other stuff, but we lose to San Jose State, and we had no business of losing to them. But the last thing in the world that I wanted to do, not even playing in that game, was go out there and, good game. And I don't think it's sportsmanship anymore, because you have, that's your entire season right there when it's all said and done, Daryl. Those girls are grinding. Everything that you think about when you come to a place like the University of Florida or Texas Tech or just D1 in general, you want to make it to the World Series. So to have that type of heat and going back and forth, and when parents are now getting involved and yelling and screaming, I would tell this to Gator fans as we're doing it now. Like, I don't think that there's a need to shake hands. I didn't mind them not doing that because, again, you don't know. Because one person says something as you're coming through the line, then now all of a sudden you bow up to somebody, and then now all hell breaks loose again. And, even for Texas Tech players, then somebody might get suspended going into the World Series and, things like that. So I'm fine with it. And I know that's not the cool answer, and you want to hear about sportsmanship. To me, just eliminate it altogether. Like there's no reason to sit there and shake hands when you get such a defeating loss on such a big game and a big moment, and that might be the only time, especially if you're a senior or you transferred in for a year, that's your only time to ever be able to go to the College World Series, and now you don't do it, and now you got to walk through a line and say, oh, good game, or whatever it is, or you're walking through and just giving daps, Daryl, and you've got this scowl on your face and you're not even saying anything. What's the point of that?
Well, I get what you're saying, Jeff, but this happened. We've been doing this for this season. Okay, we're going to do that. Let's knock it out. See, in the deal, when they do the rules committee and all that stuff there, I think they, to me, focus on taking that fence back 50 feet. That's
with all the homers.
That's a whole other discussion.
But Daryl, again, you can correct me on this, but did they do it after game 2?
I think I don't know if they do it every game. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they did. I wasn't there. They don't. Okay.
So then why would you do it after your season's over?
Well, because the series is over.
I get that, but it doesn't happen in baseball.
No, I just think. Look, I don't have any problem with looking at changing that.
Right.
But if the rule, or if the way you're doing it, because here's the flip question: would Florida have shook hands had they won? The answer is yes.
Right.
So
absolutely.
So given the world we're in now, they should have, in my opinion.
Yeah, but then the other side would Texas Tech have?
Well,
probably not.
That's the point.
So then we're in the same exact situation.
Yes. So I'm not saying, Jeff, don't look at it and see, but I mean, if we're not going to have sportsmanship where we can't go on a line without, getting into a fight, do you not do that at Little League? I mean, what do you do? And I think if you're going to change it, then I would change it from there. Don't do it in Little League.
I 100%
don't do it there at all.
One more question. I got one more thing to ask, because let's go to football. When the Gators lose and they don't go down and sing the alma mater at the end zone, Gator fans calling here and ripping those football players for not doing that. I've heard them. So we can't say it's good for one set to not do it,
that's
show sportsmanship or show whatever.
But there you're not, Daryl, you're not going to interact with the other team. You're going to your fan base.
I get that.
I think in that situation, if that's the rule by the head coach, then you need to go do that. But it's not like a rule that says, hey, I've got to go shake hands after a game.
Correct. All right.
It's an unwritten rule, I guess.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
All right, Daryl. Thank you for your call. Hey, Keith, how are you?
Hey, guys. Couple comments. The shaking hands, my thought on that, and I understand both sides, but you need to do it. That's what they do. I think you got to suck it up, and I think you got to do it. And Jeff, I understand what you're saying. I'm like you, man. I don't necessarily agree and dig it, but that's kind of how they do it. I do want to say this, so congratulations to the softball team. Congratulations to Keegan Rothrock, the effort that she did. She was totally gassed. We all read the articles about the IVs. She was just out of gas. And who would have thunk it when Ava Braun went down, how big a loss that was on the mound. That was a humongous loss. And I read an article this weekend about she's going to be back and healthy. Keegan's going to be back and healthy. And they got this stud freshman that's supposed to be able to step up and give them some help. So I think Walton is got the future in mind with pitching, because obviously that's what ran out. And I also disagree with that first caller about the baseball team, about Sully just needs to win when they blew a 6-run lead. George is good. George is really good. And I tip my hat to the baseball team and to Sully. How many fans out there halfway through the season thought we would get a top 8 seed? I'll take your comments off the air, man. But great job by the baseball team too.
Yeah, thanks, Keith. Yeah, there's not many that thought that. I mean,
no.
We were doing shows.
We were doubtful.
We were trying to talk them off the ledge, I think, a little bit too. But understanding that when the pitching got back healthy, you had a chance. And to me, if Sandifer doesn't get hurt or get knocked out of the game, then Florida wins that game. You're able to do it a little bit differently. You had to extend a couple other guys. And then I think knowing, like, to me, I would have left Lugo Quinchola out there another inning. But Sully wanted to bring Reitner in that spot. And I just think sometimes for Reitner especially, it's too early. Like anything that – if he's going longer than 2, then we got a problem. And I hope we don't see that now moving forward, but you should be able to not have to get in a situation like that.
Let's do our Coach of the Week, brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union. Putting some star power to work in your financial life for 90 years. Campus USA Credit Union, Coach of the Week.
To me, it's James Ramsey. He's in his first year at Georgia Tech. And for those that hear that name and be like, oh, I've heard that name before, he was a stud at Florida State. And he was a part of those groups where it was when the Gators were in their heyday too, because that would have been 2010, 11, 12, somewhere in there, like the last years of Rosenblatt and then the first years of TD Ameritrade when the Gators were going to the series all the time. That's when Ramsey was playing. He was an all-conference player in Florida State, really good hitter. I think one of the best that I've ever seen. And he got the job at Georgia Tech this year, and he changed their culture. Danny Hall had been there for a really long time, and they've had pockets of success, but for him to kind of put everything together and get those guys to buy into what works, he's done an outstanding job. I mean, to me, if you give me a team to pick to win it all, other than the Gators, of course, then I'm saying it's going to be Georgia Tech or Georgia to win it.
Okay. We'll take a break. We'll come back. More of the On Deck Show coming up. Stay with us as you listen on WRUF.
Gator baseball is in full swing, and the road to Omaha runs through WRUF. WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Tori Kitchens. Florida women's golf finished its season yesterday, placing 11th at the NCAA Championships. The Gators hit 16 over par and missed match play by 5 shots. Back in Gainesville, Florida softball also saw an abrupt end to its season. Surrounded by drama, the Gators dropped games 1 and 3 to Texas Tech, which earned the spot in OKC. Coach Tim Walton clarified that he did not know about the off-the-field controversy.
I don't understand the drama. That was really uncalled for. I'm very disappointed in that. But that had nothing to do with the softball game. Unfortunately, it became a life of its own, and that part, I don't want that to detract from the game that they played or the game that we played. It makes no sense to me. I don't understand it at all.
Now for Florida, postseason begins as players from all over the country are already entering the transfer portal. Just heading into NCAA tournament action, Florida baseball earned the 8th seed to host Ryder Troy in Miami beginning Friday.
The jewelry store with the most likes, the most positive reviews, the most raving fans is International Diamond Center.
IDC is definitely a place that I will come to as long as I live here. This will be my go-to place always.
Literally the best jewelry store in town. You'll make friends for life coming in here. I felt like family from the beginning. The value was extraordinary.
I've got a beautiful diamond on my finger, and I'm very proud of it.
International Diamond Center.
I'm very happy to show it off.
At Celebration Point and online at shopidc.com.
It's never fun being injured, and with summer on the way, the last thing you want is lingering pain holding you back. Good news, you don't have to deal with long waits or high costs at Titan MRI and Imaging. At Titan MRI and Imaging, you're not just another patient. You're treated with care in a comfortable, personal setting. With 2 locations in Gainesville and 1 in Lake City, being pain-free is a short drive away, and they accept insurance. So don't sit out this summer. Get the scan you need and get back to enjoying it. Visit TitanMRI.com to learn more.
Hi, I'm Kerry Meldon. At Meldon Law, we prepare every case as if it's going to trial. And part of that preparation involves real people from our community giving honest feedback. Join one of our jury research focus groups. You'll review real case scenarios, share your perspective, and enjoy dinner and dessert on us. We'll thank you and provide you $125 for your time. It's engaging, meaningful, and your voice truly matters. Visit meldonlaw.com to sign up today.
Concrete is tough, long-lasting, durable. And when it's done right, it's the foundation of everything that stands strong. At Silverback Concrete, we don't just pour concrete, we build trust one slab at a time. We're a family-led team of heavy concrete specialists who sweat every detail, from footers to elevated decks. We respect your budget, we build to last, and we care about the people on the job today and those who will walk these floors tomorrow. You stand on it, we stand by it. Silverback Concrete, we've got your back. Visit silverbackconcrete.co to get started.
It's game day. Lights on, fans ready, everything running like it should. Now imagine your home performing at that same level. No flickering lights, no tripping breakers, no last-minute surprises. With B&D Electric, your home's electrical system is always game day ready. From repairs and lighting to panel upgrades and troubleshooting, they deliver reliable service you can count on every time. Don't sit on the sidelines. Schedule your service today at www.bdelectric.com. That's bdelectric.com.
If there's anybody that knows what teamwork and great leadership is all about, it's the head ball coach himself, Steve Spurrier. Sure, it applies to football and the team at Campus USA Credit Union.
Yeah, I think we got excellent leadership with Jerry Benton and his staff there, and certainly I'm proud to team up with those guys as we go from year to year.
Campus USA Credit Union can help with all your financial decisions. Join the team. Learn more at campuscu.com. Member NCUA.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
I just got another NBA offer from Hard Rock Bet.
A Hard Rock Bet promo at the Hard Rock Bet Party? That is so meta.
That's not meta. That's Meta World Peace. Meta. Tell them about Hard Rock Bet.
Hard Rock Bet has it all. Live odds for every NBA game, every player prop, same game parlays, you name it. It's the only place I play these days.
Okay, now that is meta.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
On Deck continues right here on WRUF, your home for Gator sports.
International Diamond Center. Don't settle for a knockoff diamond. You get the best diamonds at the best prices for quality, selection, and value. International Diamond Center, the official jeweler of the Florida Gators. Welcome back to On Deck. Steve and Jeff with you here. Let us do the Relief Pitcher of the Week, brought to you by Castaway Hot Sauce. Hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar. Built by Gators. Castaway Hot Sauce, available at select Publix supermarkets. Relief Pitcher of the Week.
I think I got to give it to the guy from Georgia, Aoki, who came in there and kind of just, I guess, gave Georgia the chance to win that game and come back. And he's been that guy all year. He's 8-1, so he's probably vultured a lot of wins by coming in the middle like that. But they've used him as a starter, a middle guy, and a closer. And he's that veteran presence. Like reminds me a lot of Michael Byrne. Doesn't throw all that hard, 90-91, but never throws the ball straight. Keeps a lot of people off balance, pisses a lot of people off because they can't hit him. And the Gators finally were able to get to him, but they just weren't able to increase the 6-0 lead. And it was a whole bunch of zeros before finally doing something. And when you get guys like that, I think you're going to have a chance to win.
Yep.
And
you
good.
Need a guy like that.
No doubt.
You do, because every game's not going to be, A, that you win it, or B, it's 3-2. You're going to have some guys that keep you in a game and hope your offense will pick you up. Top 4 teams brought to you by Coke Zero. The new and improved recipe tastes like real Coca-Cola with 0 sugar and 0 calories.
Yeah, it's Georgia Tech, obviously UCLA, and Georgia did separate. Remember, all year we talked about it being North Carolina and then trying to figure out if it was Texas or Georgia. And I think right there, and Auburn might have a little say on this too.
Underrated team, Jeff.
Sure.
And they've
just
been underrated all year.
Because they pitch so well.
Yes, they've been underrated all year long, in my opinion.
Yeah, and they came into Gainesville and won a couple, although if it wasn't for Bub Terrell, who's now playing left field. But he robbed a homer at the SEC tournament, and he hit the only home run that they had in the game that they ended up losing to Arkansas to go to the championship. But yeah, Auburn is scary because they pitch it so well.
Yep.
And being able to do it in that ballpark, if you get to Omaha and you can pitch, and You got a chance to beat anybody, and there's nobody that has been able to score a bunch of runs against them.
Yep, they've been really good all year long. Don't forget now, Titan MRI Imaging phone and text line. You can call us. Facebook Live questions courtesy of Meldon Law, and Silverback Concrete gives us our YouTube questions. And if we have any of those, Luis will get them to us. Let's see, Ken, the sportsmanship the softball team displayed on Sunday was embarrassing. Couldn't believe it. It was despicable. Totally embarrassing to UF. I don't know about despicable.
Yeah, and remember, though, Tim had been ejected. So it's not like he was there either to then kind of make them do that if that's the way he felt. But, you know, I didn't see it, so I don't know. And if I was there, I could probably tell you a little bit better. But I think for everybody that's freaking out about sportsmanship and all this other stuff, like, chill out. Like, and I even think, you know, the Jason Williams thing is so interesting because yesterday he apologizes and he comes out on a video and saying, hey, I love the University of Florida. That's where I got my start. And then today he gets interviewed and basically says,
I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done with the university. Like, they're not even a part of, like, I will never step foot on that campus again. And this is a guy I went to school with, so I knew Jason well. And we do the Mealy Pod Hobby podcast. We had Jason on there. He did an autograph signing at the Mealy Pop shop. He loves kids, and you know, he does all these other things. And I think for anybody that hasn't been in the situation of like doing it for their own kid, like, I don't know if you can necessarily have an opinion on this, because when it comes to your kid, and you could probably sing the same thing when Drew was young, and you know, you're watching. Like, to me, I never was nervous going out there and playing, or I never like let stuff bother me. I was way more like into it or nervous or whatever the word is, like watching Austin pitch.
No question.
Because I can control it, and when you can't control it,
right, then
it affects you a little bit more. Like, as a dad, you want your kid to succeed more than anything else. And again, I'm not there. I hear some of the things that were going on. But if there's Gator fans yelling and screaming and going at it, and there's parents going at it, and all of a sudden you're in that parent section, and now you're hearing what other parents that you were hanging out with last year are saying about your daughter or whatever it might be, that's going to piss me off. And I'm going to probably jaw back. Now, I'm not going to take it to the extreme of, you know, MF and fans and doing all that, but yeah. I would be upset, and it would certainly affect me. So it's weird dynamic how it all transpired. And, you know, I just think there was a lot of people that get heated, again, in a situation where, like, your season's on the line. And for Texas Tech, think about this, Steve. They have the most expensive roster in the entire country. So now all of a sudden, if they don't make it, well, this is the biggest disappointing team in the history of college softball, because they spent all this money, and there's got $1 million pitcher who wasn't very good, and, you know, all these other things. So, I mean, it's the heat of the moment, I think, sometimes, and we all do crap in the heat of a moment sometimes that we regret.
Todd says, let's be honest, Rothrock didn't get hit intentionally 5 times. Or hit Mia 5 times. That would be silly. Mia took advantage of inside pitches and crowded the plate by freezing on the check swing motion. Her elbow and knee were very close or over the corner of the plate. Problem came from Tech players' nasty thug attitudes, and the ESPN commentators trying to make a mountain out of a molehill. And while we're on it, Jason Williams is no Gator legend. He was flashy, played a handful of games. What did he win to be considered a legend?
Yeah, and I do agree. If the announcers, which that's their A-plus crew, like, that's the crew that does the World Series with, you know, Beth and Holly and all that. Like, if they're sort of instigating and making that a part of the story, and I saw the couple of the hit by pitches on video, and I'm like, that got her like below the knee. I mean, give me a break. You're trying to go inside. Steve, we see it all the time. I mean, Sear crowds the plate. He's right on top of it. So if he gets hit on the elbow, he's not trying to get hit, or they're not trying to throw at him. He's just so much on top of the plate, which Tim obviously knows how Mia can hit. And if her vulnerability is to try to throw her in,
it is.
Then that's what they're trying to do.
He said that she has a hole in her swing in her half.
Yeah.
So That part I had no problem with.
So you don't want her extend her arm.
Correct.
So you're going to try to pitch her in. And guess what? When they hit her, it's only first base.
Yeah.
But they threw to her a couple of times, left it over the plate, and she hit 2 2-run homers.
Yep.
I'd much rather hit a person than give up a 2-run homer.
That part I had no problem with.
Yeah.
No problem with at all. If you pitch inside and you hit her, oh well.
Not like you're throwing at her head.
Correct. Exactly the point. JB, hello.
Hey, listen, guys, all this talk about the sportsmanship aspect of, what happened or what didn't happen and all that. These are grown-up girls or young women, okay? These aren't children. And I don't know. It just seems ridiculous to me that you're going to dog out a bunch of – and somebody to call it despicable. No, there's a lot of things that are despicable, and but that ain't one of them. And these young women went out there and played their tails off, and it got heated from a lot of different directions. And so, in my mind, it was probably a good thing they didn't go out there to shake hands because, it could become, I don't know, because tempers can run high.
Yep.
Especially you get to that level of competition. And you wouldn't expect a bunch of men, other than maybe in basketball, you're going to see the Florida Gators go out there and shake hands with Miami Hurricanes after a football game? Oh, hell no. And why? So if it's anyway, you get my point.
Yeah, and I'm with you, JB. And the last thing on earth at that moment, you want to be going to do that, and there's just I don't know.
All right, but I'll play devil's advocate with both of you. Had Florida won, would they have shook hands?
Well, that's something we will never know.
I think the answer is yes.
But again, Texas Tech wouldn't have.
Well, we don't know that.
I mean, by the way that they acted, I think you easily know that.
I don't agree. I don't agree.
So
all right. Well, guys, thanks.
JB, thank you. I think we have to get a break here. We do. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We got to get going here. We knew this would be a dominant thing today. It's almost overshadowing baseball, and it really shouldn't. As you listen to sports, listen to the On Deck Show on WRUF.
Your home for the Tampa Bay Rays is WRUF.
Looking for a roof you can trust to weather any storm? Atlantic Roofing has been covering North Central Florida for over 20 years. We're a third-generation, locally owned roofing company. From Alachua to Marion, Bradford, Levy, Gilchrist, Columbia, and beyond, we've got your home, your business, and your back. Visit AtlanticRoofing.com or call today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing, where quality rises above.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com.
It's first pitch time, Alachua County. The field is set, the crowd is buzzing, and baseball season is in full swing. From clutch hits and game-saving catches, baseball brings the passion, teamwork, and pride that unite our community. Whether you're on the field or cheering from the stands, Coke Florida, your local Coca-Cola bottler, is proud to support the moments that bring Alachua County together. Brought to you by Coke Florida, refreshing Florida fans. Here's to a winning season, on and off the field.
Looking for the perfect stay in Gainesville? Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center is just steps from the swamp, the closest hotel to UF. With 6 stylish floors of brand new everything, we've been completely renovated and fully remodeled for your comfort. Enjoy the best guest services in town, competitive rates, and a location you just can't beat. And don't forget about our rooftop pool. Whether it's game day, graduation, or a Gator getaway, make your stay extraordinary at Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center. Visit us online today for details and booking.
When the late great Charlie Daniels would need a place for jewelry he could trust, he turned to International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange.
Hi, I'm Charlie Daniels, and I live in Tennessee, but when I get ready to do something serious about jewelry or a gift for my wife or somebody, I always get in touch with the folks at International Gold and Diamond Exchange here in Gainesville. There's a lot of reasons for that. One reason is they sell nothing but the best.
Find out what Charlie was talking about for yourself at International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange at 3440 West University Avenue and online at igdwex.com.
Craving bold, authentic Cuban flavor? Head to Miapa Latin Cafe, where every bite brings the taste of Cuba straight to your table. From iconic Cuban sandwiches and fresh flaky empanadas to rich café con leche and perfectly sweet plantains. Every dish is made fresh daily for a true Latin experience. Proudly serving the community for over 23 years. And a proud supporter of the Florida Gators, Miapa now features 6 convenient locations ready to welcome you. Dine-in, drive-thru, to-go, or catering, Miapa is your choice for crowd-pleasing Cuban favorites. Miapa Latin Cafe, the best Cuban food north of Miami.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
When you're ready to roll up your sleeves or open new doors for the next generation, when you're ready to give your time where it matters most and put your heart behind every handshake, Radiant Credit Union is ready too. With partnerships, programs, and people dedicated to building stronger communities together, helping our community shine. Radiant Credit Union. When you're ready, let's get started.
On Deck continues, right here on WRUF.
All right, Luis producing today, and he's giving it to you right. Breathe in, breathe out. That's the song. Just chill out a little bit. That's what it's all about. But never chill out. If you need something snazzy, go over to International Diamond Center. They carry an exceptional assortment of designer engagement rings, wedding bands, luxury watches, fine jewelry. They've got locations across the entire state and here in Celebration Point, the heart of Gator Nation.
Welcome back to the On Deck Show. Time for our Player of the Week, brought to you by Holiday Inn University Center. If you're looking for the perfect stay in Gainesville, Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center is just steps from the Swamp, the closest hotel to UF. Whether it's game day, graduation, or a Gator getaway, make your stay extraordinary at Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center. Player of the Week.
You got to find that song, Luis. I'll be chilling at the Holiday Inn. Play that before that read next time. That would have been cool. Blake Sear. To me. Did I steal yours again?
I can't believe it. Yes.
Then you got to start doing it first.
Yeah. No, it's okay. But, I mean, the fact that we both thought that's pretty interesting.
He was going into the tournament 2 for 20. And for him to have the week that he did, and obviously the homers and big hits, he had the big 2-out hit, and when the Gators made it a 3-run game. So you need him, and now he gets to go against his former mates as Miami's coming to town again. You wonder what that's going to be like, but it's been fun to watch the season that Blake's had, because last year at this time when we were heading into regionals, he was awful, and he had gotten a decent amount of money from an NIL standpoint, and couldn't hit to save his life, it seemed like. So he's just got a renewed look on what baseball means to him and the things that he's had to go through. And I mean, if you add now Lawson and Serwick, how hot they are, right? Sear right in the middle of the order. And then obviously what we're getting from Yost and even Curlin at the bottom. There's like 6 guys right now out of the 9, Steve, that are swinging it pretty well in this lineup.
And the reason I chose, we all know what Blake has had happen in his personal life. Mm-hmm. And, he had a pretty rough year a year ago. So to have him come through with what he's done and what happened to him personally, I think is really good. Our softball review, we've done that a lot, brought to you by International Gold and Diamond Exchange. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, trade, or repair luxury timepieces, the process begins with an honest evaluation and clear offer. International Gold and Diamond Luxury is done easy. I'll read an email from Larry. He says, "It's about damn time softball overshadowed baseball on your show." Okay.
Yeah, likes that.
All right, there you go, Larry. So I don't know about overshadowing it, but it is discussed today. All right, now time for our 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Miapa Latin Cafe. Miapa proud to sponsor Gator Athletics. And don't forget, at all Gator baseball home games during the regular year, when you win a free cup of Cuban coffee from any Miapa location. Miapa says, go Gators. Quickly, some emails, Jeff. William, what MLB teams have surprised you and Jeff this year? Sproats doing well with Milwaukee. what players on this year's team have a good chance to get to the show, in your opinion?
Well, I mean, Liam Peterson will be a first-rounder. To me, the question's going to be Surowick. There's not a spot for him to play at the next level. It's got to be first base. I mean, it won't be third, but I think he's showing everybody that he can hit. And then, I mean, I think Barberi's a big leaguer. I think Aiden King, if he continues to, get better, then he's certainly a big leaguer. He has the mindset for it. I don't know about anybody else from Lawson I guess I didn't mention him, but he'd be the no-brainer too. I mean, he could be one of the top 5 picks next year. So, I mean, the Gators are going to have a decent amount of guys that have a chance, and I think that's why this year's team can be special because of the amount of arms that they have.
Peyton said Maine had a losing record but made their conference tournament final against Binghamton. Had they won, would the Black Bears have made the baseball playoffs?
Yes.
Yes, you win your tournament.
Yeah, I think there's a team that got in that's maybe like 24-32 or something. But yeah, but I mean, that could be something that's talked about too, Stephen, and I don't like it, to be honest. And let's just talk about it because it's somewhat personal to us. Let's look at UNF and Joe Mercadante. And he was a Gator, of course, and then he made a poor decision and went down and coached for the Hurricanes for a little bit. But I mean, he's got Brad Wilkerson on that coaching staff, so a couple of guys there that have ties to Florida. But you're telling me that you're going to grind for 30 games and be the best throughout the entire year and go through the ups and downs of injuries and do all this other stuff, and now all of a sudden you're making it where you've got to have a good 3 or 4 games to win your conference tournament, or you're not going to make the postseason? To me, that's crap. Like, I think the regular season champ should be the one to get in. Now, somebody might say, well, then that doesn't give anybody else a chance. Or then structure your conference tournament like what we see with the SEC now. Because the teams that have earned it get like a double bye. So Georgia only had to win 3 games. Florida would have had to win 4. But there's no way the teams that had to win 5 games are going to be able to have the pitching and all that other stuff. So I think they need to look at that differently. I would much rather give it to the regular season champ than the guy that wins the tournament.
Take a break, come back. More to come on the On Deck Show. You're listening on WRUF.
Sports Center.
I'm Tori Kitchens. Softball season is now over in Gainesville. Texas Tech advanced to the Women's College World Series, winning games 1 and 3 over Florida. Senior Jocelyn Erickson was emotional about her time at Florida coming to an end.
The fans, the coaches, the players, the people in academic buildings, like literally everyone. And I just couldn't be more grateful to wear orange and blue.
Erickson was drafted 5th overall by the Chicago Bandits in the AUSL draft to continue her softball career. While softball season is done, Florida baseball is just getting started in the postseason. After a semifinals exit at the SEC tournament, the Gators find themselves as the 8th seed in the country, earning a host slot. Followed by Troy and Miami, Florida plays Ryder in Game 1 of the Gainesville Regional Friday with live coverage on WRUF at 12:55.
Hey, have you ever talked to Ruse Agra over at State Farm?
Oh yeah, Ruse is awesome. Helped me get a ton of coverage for way less than I expected, and he serves all of North Florida. Super friendly too, like actually takes time to explain everything.
Really? I thought State Farm would be pricey.
Nope, surprisingly great rates. You get that neighborly service you don't find everywhere. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I might give Ruse at State Farm a call.
You should. Call 352-240-1779 for a free quote. You'll be glad you did.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
The jewelry store with the most likes, the most positive reviews, the most raving fans is International Diamond Center.
IDC is definitely a place that I will come to as long as I live here. This will be my go-to place always.
Literally the best jewelry store in town. You'll make friends for life coming in here. I felt like family from the beginning. The value was extraordinary.
I've got a beautiful diamond on my finger, and I'm very proud of it.
International Diamond Center.
I'm very happy to show it off.
At Celebration Point and online at shopidc.com.
It's never fun being injured, and with summer on the way, the last thing you want is lingering pain holding you back. Good news, you don't have to deal with long waits or high costs at Titan MRI and Imaging. At Titan MRI and Imaging, you're not just another patient. You're treated with care in a comfortable, personal setting. With 2 locations in Gainesville and 1 in Lake City, being pain-free is a short drive away, and they accept insurance. So don't sit out this summer. Get the scan you need and get back to enjoying it. Visit TitanMRI.com to learn more.
Hi, I'm Kerry Meldon. At Meldon Law, we prepare every case as if it's going to trial. And part of that preparation involves real people from our community giving honest feedback. Join one of our jury research focus groups. You'll review real case scenarios, share your perspective, and enjoy dinner and dessert on us. We'll thank you and provide you $125 for your time. It's engaging, meaningful, and your voice truly matters. Visit meldonlaw.com to sign up today.
Concrete is tough, long-lasting, durable. And when it's done right, it's the foundation of everything that stands strong. At Silverback Concrete, we don't just pour concrete, we build trust one slab at a time. We're a family-led team of heavy concrete specialists who sweat every detail, from footers to elevated decks. We respect your budget, we build to last, and we care about the people on the job today and those who will walk these floors tomorrow. You stand on it, we stand by it. Silverback Concrete, we've got your back. Visit silverbackconcrete.co to get started.
It's game day. Lights on, fans ready, everything running like it should. Now imagine your home performing at that same level. No flickering lights, no tripping breakers, no last-minute surprises. With B&D Electric, your home's electrical system is always game day ready. From repairs and lighting to panel upgrades and troubleshooting, they deliver reliable service you can count on every time. Don't sit on the sidelines. Schedule your service today at www.bdelectric.com. That's bdelectric.com.
Looking for a roof you can trust to weather any storm? Atlantic Roofing has been covering North Central Florida for over 20 years. We're a third-generation, locally owned roofing company. From Alachua to Marion, Bradford, Levy, Gilchrist, Columbia, and beyond, we've got your home, your business, and your back. Visit AtlanticRoofing.com or call today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing, where quality rises above.
From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
Skies partly cloudy for the start of the afternoon. Highs today in the low 90s. Feels like temperatures in the mid to upper 90s. We'll see thunderstorms develop closer to the St. Johns River. They'll migrate west of the I-75 corridor by the evening, and storms could hang on after sunset through about midnight. Then mostly cloudy skies, low temperatures in the mid 70s. From the WUFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Megan Borowski.
On Deck with Steve Russell and Jeff Cardozo continues right here on WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Bomb ass bomb. Ooh, you got the bomb. Oh, you got it, bomb. Ooh, you got some bomb ass bomb.
See? These guys are great in here. Luis producing, Kevin adding his normal, wonderful touch. This is what I was clubbing to back in the day, Steve.
Sure you did.
And then if you want to go into the club, find yourself a gal, then you can go buy her some jewelry at International Diamond Center. Shop exclusive, officially light skater jewelry, from rings and bracelets to watches and Hall of Fame peaches, featuring Jenny's Gems with Coach Jenny. Roll and visit the International Diamond Center in Celebration Point or online. Show your Gator pride in style.
All right, we wrap up On Deck today. Let's do our Quality Game of the Week, brought to you by Quality Plumbing. Quality Plumbers, Gainesville's trusted for over 40 years. Their name says it all. Game of the Week.
I mean, there's a lot of fascinating regional matchups, and, you know, I think we could probably pick from a bunch of different things. But, you know, I think when it's all said and done, I mean, you've got to look probably, to me, at maybe the Kansas Regional, because they get to host, which is kind of cool, but Arkansas is playing as good as anybody right now. So I think, to me, that's a really tough 2 seed. Now, I think there's a couple other ones as well. Wake's going to go to West Virginia, and Kentucky snuck in. They got into that regional too, so that's a tough one. So yeah, I think there's definitely some decent ones. I think there's a lot where others, you know, probably should easily win their regional. But I mean, even think about Nebraska. You know, it's been a while since they've been in, but you know, they've got an Ole Miss team that I think is pretty good too. So I'm anxious to see the 2 seeds of the SEC schools if they can be better than these smaller conferences, so to speak, that put up a bunch of wins and increase their RPI when they weren't beating up on each other week in and week out.
You mentioned mine because when I saw Kansas has had a nice year.
Yeah.
And I saw Arkansas going there. Kansas kind of went, oh, wow. We get Arkansas here? That's going to be a tough draw. Best and worst of the week brought to you by Ruse-Ogre State. I think we know what the worst is already. State Farm agent Ruse-Ogre is your go-to agent in Gainesville and North Central Florida for the service you deserve at the price you want.
I mean, to me, the best of the week was getting to see the ABS used at the SEC tournament. I thought that was really cool to have catchers have the ability to challenge. We never really saw hitters challenging. And I think, in learning, the catchers know the zone better than anybody else. We never saw a pitcher challenge either.
Nope.
And those are the three that could do it. But, I mean, Carson Bowen did a really good job. He only missed one, and it was like barely.
Inches. Yeah.
So to understand the zone right now and then be able to manipulate it a little bit and, get that high strike, which we don't see a lot of, and even sometimes that lower strike. Now, for those that didn't pay attention enough, it was actually about 4% larger than the major league strike zone that they use for ABS because they don't have the exact sciences and measurements that they do at the big league level. But, I thought it was kind of cool to see that, and the crowd really got into it. They loved cheering and John and all that.
You know what struck me about that, Jeff? That there weren't that many challenges. So maybe the umpiring was pretty good too.
Yeah.
And I think they get officials, referees, umpires get a lot of flack, and I get it. But that just showed me for the SEC tournament, it's pretty good. I thought they deserve, sometimes you get on them. I thought they deserve a lot of credit. Next game preview brought to you by Atlantic Roofing. Personal and commercial roofing expects quality, durability, excellence, and integrity. Over 50 years of experience, Atlantic Roofing brings the trusted expertise to your project.
All right, so here's the difference. If you're trying to now understand the 4 seed that's coming here, and it's Rider, and they're in the MAC conference. They were 33-18 on the year, really good in the conference. They were 22-8, so obviously better than the Gators. RPI 119. Their quad 1 record, they didn't play a quad 1 game, and the Gators played 28 of them. So I think that's the difference. Just certainly when you look at the competition, strength of schedule, the Gators finished with a number 2 strength of schedule. Riders was 271. So listen, it's a team that Florida needs to beat. And to me, if Sully asked me, if he called me and said, Jeff, what should I do? I said, do not throw King and do not throw Peterson.
Agreed.
Like throw Sandifer.
Agreed.
Like if Russell Sandifer cannot beat Ryder, then you got problems anyway.
Yep.
Because you would love to have then the other 2 for the rest of the regional. Sometimes you got to throw off. Now, other times, Steve, there's been one where, like if you had the conference pitcher of the year that had like a 1.2 ERA and nobody could hit him, all that, then I think you have to because you're probably not going to score some runs. But I think in this situation, you still, even though they're going to have a good arm, it's still not going to be worse wasting those guys, at least in my opinion.
I mean, you always run the risk, God forbid, if you lose.
Yeah.
Right. But I am with you in this because of all the things you just said, right? I think you have to go that way.
But and think about it last year. Like the only way that Florida, after losing that first game when Peterson threw, to win the regional was to not throw Aiden King against Fairfield, and Sully didn't. He threw him. And the Gators won like 800-1. And so you wasted Aiden King, and now you didn't have another good arm to then try to get back into the regional. So I think there's sometimes you have to make a decision to throw off a little bit where – and it's not like Russell Sandifer had a bad year. I mean, he was in the inning against Georgia. I mean, he looked really sharp. And if he's that, there's no way these guys are hitting him.
Let's end with some emails here we can get to. Dustin, looking ahead, fingers crossed, Gators take care of business this weekend. What do you see happening in the Southern Miss Regional, who Florida would play at home next weekend?
Yeah, I mean, I think Southern Miss probably comes out of that one too. But if you compare the RPIs of like ranked by difficulty, then they have the second hardest regional when it's all said and done. The 2 seed is Virginia, and then Jacksonville State, who had a really nice year, ends up being the 3 seed there. So I don't know if it's going to be Southern Miss. Virginia, or that's the guy that was at Duke last year. He took the job when O'Connor left, and Pollard's done a great job at Virginia to kind of get them back in it a little bit. So I wouldn't be surprised if Virginia or even Jack State came out of that, but I think either way the Gators should beat that next opponent.
Daryl, maybe they should shake hands before the game starts in softball.
I mean, what's that going to do? I just don't know if that's a, hey, good to see you. You beat our ass yesterday, but I'm going to shake your hand today.
Well, see, I would do it, if you're going to do it that way, once. Just start of the series.
Before the series.
Yes,
and then
exactly. I'd be okay with that. Because, look, you may still have a little bit of animosity because I don't like, but you haven't had a game, you haven't had tension, you haven't had all of that.
Yeah.
So I'd be okay with that. Quickly, Sam, who was the Gator hitter that had the most hit by pitches last year? It was Mia. She crowds the plate. Rothrock was trying to pitch her close. Once they pitched her outside, it was a home run almost every time. Well, yep. Don't forget, we've got a regional here. A bunch of SEC teams are in it as well. Who's the most vulnerable SEC team in terms of, like somebody that should win their regional, Jeff? You see anybody that maybe has an issue? Because I was looking at that. I mean, look, anything's possible, right? But I don't know that like a Georgia or, I don't see any of those teams having a problem.
Yeah, Georgia will be fine. I mean, maybe you can look at Mississippi State a little bit because I just don't know. They haven't pitched it all that well. Cincinnati's a pretty good team going in there. And then, I just still don't know how good Alabama is. And Oregon State's the 2 seed in that regional. So and Oregon State can really swing the bat well. Oklahoma State. So they've got a chance to beat Alabama, and then that one's paired up with Florida State's regional. So that'll be interesting.
Okay, that is our On Deck show for today. Thanks to Luis for producing it. Thanks to you for listening. Kevin and the Sports Lab gang are next. We'll see you tomorrow on Sports Scene. Jeff later on today at 4 o'clock. Make sure and tune in for that. See you later.
If there's anybody that knows what teamwork and great leadership is all about, it's the head ball coach himself, Steve Spurrier. Sure, it applies to football and the team at Campus USA Credit Union.
Yeah, I think we got excellent leadership with Jerry Benton and his staff there, and certainly I'm proud to team up with those guys as we go from year to year.
Campus USA Credit Union can help with all your financial decisions. Join the team. Learn more at campuscu.com. Member NCUA.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com.